Today on Beardo and Weirdo, we're being joined by Horatio Sanz and Chris Kattan from Saturday Night Live. They're telling us stories about behind-the-scenes stuff that's happened working on SNL, about some of the more famous characters you know, and then, of course, that famous Cowbell sketch.
That's right. More Cowbell today on Beardo and Weirdo.
It's like I got a fever, and its only cure is Beardo and Weirdo. Pow!
You guys want some cookies?
What's up, guys? Chris Kael here.
Hey, Ricky Rackman here.
And me, I'm Craig Gass, the comedian from Family Guy, King of Queens, and the roast of Gene Simmons. We're coming to Tampa, specifically to Wesley Chapel, to the Side Splitters Comedy Club.
Wesley Chapel, Side Splitters, May 8th and 9th.
Side Splitters in Wesley Chapel? It's true. May 8th and 9th. And joining me, two very funny comics, Craig Gass and Chris Kael, who's not only the bass player of Five Finger Death Punch, but he's also a great comedian.
Me, Ricky Rackman, and Chris Kael from Five Finger Death Punch. It's rock, it's metal, without any rock or any metal whatsoever. It's stand-up comedy and storytelling. Come join us at Side Splitters in Wesley Chapel. The tickets are at getgas.com. Getgas with two S's.com. It's the show nobody asked for. By the way, everything you're about to see is a promotion because we are going to be doing a comedy show at the Aliante Casino on Saturday, May 23rd. Myself and Horatio and Chris Kattan. Horatio Sanz and Chris Kattan are joining Beardo and Weirdo today. I don't know if you guys have met Chris Kael from Five Finger Death Punch.
I just met him now, but it's very nice to meet him. I think I know which one's the weirdo.
Yeah.
Which one is the weirdo? Which one is the weirdo?
That would be me, Chris. That would be me.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys stay in touch? Have you guys stayed in touch since you guys were on SNL together?
Actually, we do stay in touch.
Yeah?
Yeah, we do.
Well, we just did a movie a few months ago, but also before that, we go to Cubs games, and he was in Chicago for a while, so I would see him a lot there. Yeah.
So
we have a mutual friend, too, that lives in Chicago, so I see him a lot.
So were you guys at Second City together in Chicago?
No.
No.
He was at Groundlings.
Oh, he's at Groundlings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was West Coast.
So you were at Groundlings in LA and you came from
Second City.
Second City in Chicago.
Yeah.
So how do you become a Cubs fan, Chris?
I just moved to, just outside of Chicago. That's how I became a Cubs fan. Otherwise, I was a Dodgers fan, so.
Okay.
And we
But I'm still a Dodgers fan and a Lakers fan.
I've loved the Cubs because as a kid watching them on WGN and Harry Carey, and I've always said my whole life I'll never go to the World Series unless the Chicago Cubs are in the World Series, to which all my friends would say, well, then you're never going to the World Series.
Oh, well, see, my team, the Cincinnati Reds, have been dominating right now.
Yeah.
I was going to invite you to the World Series, but if Chicago's not there, then I'm going by myself now, Craig.
I got to go. I got to be at Game 7 in Cleveland, and I watched the Cubs win the World Series. But it's irrelevant to this conversation.
That must have been amazing.
It's not, because I was at the second to last game. The last game at Wrigley Field.
Oh, the last game. Wait, Game 5 at Wrigley.
Game 5, and then I had to go. I did match game on the Monday. The Monday they won.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I was like, I just got done filming, and I went to my hotel, and I was just sitting there, and it was such a huge moment. Like it's just something you look forward to your whole life, and you don't know what you're gonna feel like until it happens. And it's like I couldn't believe it for like a week.
Well, speaking of huge moments, being able to put your name next to that elite class of people that have been asked to become a cast member. Do you remember that? I have to believe you remember the moment, but did you get emotional? What was that moment of, yes, we want you to put your name next to all these incredibly huge names that have been a part of this history?
Well, it was very exciting. I mean, I was hired like 6 shows towards the end of the season, so it was kind of an odd time.
That is odd.
But I literally moved to New York on Saturday, and then I was there Sunday unpacking, and then started Monday. So the show starts Monday, then you have a pitch meeting Tuesday. Monday actually. So it went relatively fast for me. So it was exciting. I mean, it was like a relief. I was very excited.
And what about for you, Horatio?
Well, for me, I auditioned and I was there, but they wouldn't they wouldn't tell me that I was hired. They're like, we'll see. Yes, it looks, and then it looks really close. And I met with Lorne, and I didn't mess that up. So, so I asked him, I go, well, will I be on the show? What should I tell my parents? And then
what a great question.
Tell them that you'll be hired, but maybe you won't necessarily be on air. I was like, okay, nice, right off the bat. So I didn't really bank it until I got the phone call from my people, my manager, and then I just kind of screamed like, "Yeah, fuck yeah!" I think I literally just screamed by myself in my room.
But you came in, as most people do, at the beginning of a season.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
Yes. Me, Jimmy, and Chris Parnell.
You guys all joined at the same time.
Yeah, we were hired that year.
And I came in like a couple years before you, and I auditioned with Will and Sherry and Jennifer Coolidge, actually. And Will and Sherry got it, and Jennifer Coolidge and I were actually dating, and we were out of town when Lorne showed up at the Groundlings, and we didn't get it.
Whoa.
It's because you were dating, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why.
No, I always consider you to be part of that cast, the one that was in Rolling Stone before we got there.
Oh, that's right. We were on the cover of Rolling Stone. That was pretty exciting.
Now, as someone else who has like chased the dream and caught it when I got the audition for Five Finger Death Punch and got hired as the bassist, once you got that dream job, was it what you expected?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, more so even. It was even cooler than I thought somehow. One of the only times that's ever happened, because I understand music can get pretty tiring. You're on the road and stuff, and comedy too. But since I don't think we ever toured, I toured with Second City, not on my own. So I never really got bored, or I never got. And it's just I don't know. The problem is you kind of get spoiled after that show because nothing else is as exciting, no matter like who you're working with. Nothing, because it also equalizes everybody, because any superstar that's on the show really needs us, and they're scared too.
Sure.
So they're not just like, oh, you're walking into my movie. You don't have any of that weird ego. It's like, oh, whatever you guys want to do, I'm here to have fun. So that's why those, usually the hosts have a lot of fun on that show.
What about you, Chris? Did it turn out to be what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, I mean, it was unexpected that I came at that time. So a lot of people were like, what's he doing here? It was like, what the, but I had a lot of characters that I developed at the Groundlings. So I was ready to write those sketches, and they didn't get a lot of laughs.
I was going to say, is Horatio laughing because you're thinking of one specific character? Or?
No, because he's lisping a little bit.
Oh.
I don't know if we were doing
Am I lisping?
You are. We were doing a bit the other day. We were thinking about, the new veneers.
Oh,
yeah.
That's what happened. We started talking to each other. We started talking about absinthe. We've gone. Are you going to absinthe when you get there?
Yeah, we're going to go see Cirque du Soleil.
The veneer's looking pretty sweet.
Yeah. What were we? We're talking about.
Well, I think it's kind of crazy. I did not know that Chris came in towards the end of a season. Were you replacing somebody specifically that had just been?
No, I didn't replace anyone. I just started it at that time, and my first sketch that I wrote, it made it in the cut, and it made it the first night. It made it the first sketch of the night, which is amazing.
Well, it was like your first week on the show. You were in the cold open.
Not the cold open, but the first sketch of the night after the monologue.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's usually the hottest scene.
Gibberish guy, the Stool Forester, the guy who spoke double talk. Good afternoon, I'm Samara. I give you 785. And at the table, nobody laughed. And Lorne, I guess John Goodman was the host. And he was like, that scene did not go well. And Lorne was like, trust me, just put it in. So they put it in, and the fans loved it. So it made it. So I was very lucky.
It's such a curious thing to hear these stories about the confusion that cast members feel when they're trying to develop stuff, and the poker face that Lorne has with everything, and you never quite know where you sit with him.
We're all masochistic a little bit too. Like we're like, yeah, just go ahead, give me what you got. Yeah, I'll be here. Don't worry, I'm not going to quit.
There's an incredible story that I think Spade told once about an audition at Stand Up New York on the Upper West Side. That it was a bunch of comics, and then the guy who went on to do the voice of SpongeBob. What was that guy's name? That I can't remember his name.
Gary Busey.
Tom Kenny.
Tom Kenny.
Tom
Gary Busey is it?
Tom Kenny apparently was the only guy at this showcase who not only killed, he got 2 standing ovations, and he's the only guy who didn't get hired that night. They hired everyone that performed except for Tom Kenny.
Really?
And I guess Spade's whole thing was that Dennis Miller had told him later, well, you don't want to look like a seasoned pro. You want to look malleable. Which, what the hell does that mean? I don't understand what that means.
I guess just the rawness of being young is probably what they were looking at. Not to be too polished. Yeah, you got, and also if you're too set in your ways, I guess it's not as easy to play different things. He probably is, of course. He's a pretty genius dude, but I think that they kind of look at someone who's a little raw, that they can kind of mold, like you said, mold into what they need, or maybe the energy that we bring is a little less like, hey, talk to my agent, and more like, all right.
Yeah.
I remember bringing my lawyers with me. They're always with me at all times.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit of that too. Like, you don't want to crush too much, because Saturday Night Live is like, know your place.
Right.
You are welcome here because of us. You don't come in and crush it now.
It's a little bit like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's these rules that you kind of know. And whenever anyone auditions and they ask me, I'm like, yeah, don't do that. Because I already know they hate it. You know, like Lorne hates the word crap, apparently.
Really?
If you wrote crap in a sketch, he didn't like it.
Really?
I know he didn't like my character, Mr. Peepers. He didn't like that at all.
Really? How did it make it to air? Who?
Tom Hanks liked it. So that was the first
Mr.
time
Peepers
it ever made it to air.
was the mixed chromosome boy.
The monkey boy.
The monkey boy.
Yeah. Spit it
That was
out.
a scientific experiment? No, that was a different thing.
No, he's just the missing link.
Right, but then you jump on the table during read-through and eat the apple and spit the apple out.
Yeah, run around the table.
And you'd usually do it in between Lorne and the host. So
yeah,
that's
people
probably why
didn't
you
like
hated
that.
it.
So
people got uncomfortable.
So you would sell it like that at the pitch meeting.
Yeah, because you can't, write down what I'm doing,
Right.
So I had to perform it. So I had to get out of my seat and get on the table. And Lorne was like, he was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, when I first saw that, I was taken aback. Like, are we going to have to do that for each sketch? And then, no, but then usually when we do if we do a musical sketch, we have to perform it, with the piano
like
player.
the Christmas tree, right?
Yeah, the Christmas treat we did at the end of the night, standing up.
Is that with the one with Fallon and Tracy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
God.
And then,
holding the keyboard, just going like that.
that was written in the middle at like 4 in the morning, just like going from office to office, maybe a little earlier, 3 or 2, with no idea absolutely what to do. And just, we got that backpacker from Backpacker. They gave it to Jimmy. So I would always mess around with it. And then, one night where we didn't have much, we just went around and we're kind of like traveling carolers going from office to office. And then we just
carolers.
We picked up Chris, and then Chris held the keyboard, and then Tracy was like, I want to be in that. Like, he just forced himself into it. We're like, of course. I mean, what?
He's like, this.
Yeah,
and then all he does is dance.
And he just got up and danced, and then people love that too. It's like there's always these weird things, absurd weird things going on in that sketch all the time.
Yeah, something happens at 4 a.m. where you just don't think anymore, and something comes out. Some of the best ideas.
There is a line that I use every time that I see Girl Scouts selling their cookies from Corky Romano. You guys want some cookies?
You guys want some cookies? Yeah, that was improvised. That was just a line, just something to say as a Girl Scout, and that became very popular.
God, I'm realizing I used to do a short sound of one of Chris Kattan's characters, and it was just that gymnast who would just go, yeah, like, and that was it. I would just that's
I know it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Somehow that became an earworm to me, and I just started like talking like that, like yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote that with Robert Smigel and Norm Macdonald. He swears he never breaks character, and he laughed in that sketch.
Whoa,
he did laugh, and he admits that he didn't.
Wow.
If you're joining us right now, you're hearing Chris. He's not drunk. He's had veneers.
Veneers.
But he's slurring everything because he's got
Do I
veneers
sound
on.
drunk?
No, he just kind of a little drunk. A little.
It's like
Because
I
you're
just had
just-
veneers put in.
No, I'm not saying you are drunk. I'm certainly not accusing you of that.
Man,
And we
no,
both
no,
had,
no, but
I had
like
dental work
sounded?
this afternoon. No, it's fine. I keep laughing because it's no, if someone's just joining right in the middle and they hear you like,
Maybe I should have my tongue further back.
did you have the work done today?
No, 2 days ago.
Horatio brought in a big cup of dental work over here.
yeah.
Yeah, this is my big gulp. That's
A 64-ounce
for
big
my
gulp.
veneers. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tooth wash.
You guys have already mentioned two very unusual characters that you guys had to work with. I have to tell you, I'm doing stand-up comedy in New York in the late 90s. And anytime Tracy Morgan was in a social situation,
Yeah,
there was always a moment where another comedian would look at you and go, "You ever try to talk to that guy?"
like, totally,
Yeah.
totally.
He was such an unusual guy to just have a conversation with, where I would just
he
go,
likes to take his shirt off a lot.
like to take his shirt off a lot. I do remember seeing that when I first moved out to LA. After a few years of being on the Howard Stern show, I moved out to LA and went to a bar that was supposed to be a birthday party for a comedian. The only comedian I saw there was Tracy, and Tracy at some point ended up taking off his clothes. And I remember,
he just loves taking his shirt off.
and he was singing karaoke, and he was crying.
Yeah.
He was crying and saying, "All by myself, don't want to be all by myself." And then he stopped and he said, "Stop the music. I want to say something. I want to say something." And the guy running the karaoke machine said, "Finish the song and get the fuck off the stage."
Sounds like Tracy might have had some dental work that day too.
Yeah. There was.
They just had a lot of dental work. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you
I
remember?
love that he was crying.
Yeah,
That's
he was
hilarious.
crying. He was well. You've seen him cry, right? Like we've all like if you spend time
Yeah,
around
a
him,
little
Yeah, he
bit,
gets
yeah.
emotional, especially when drinking.
he gets
Yeah.
emotional. So do you any memories of Tracy of just realizing, oh, okay, this is the way this guy operates?
Well, I would definitely notice that. I just thought, we would have a certain like whatever banter a little bit here and there, but it wasn't nothing like that. But definitely, like anybody would join a thing, he would be selling a bit that he was trying out. That's what you're probably talking about. Where he's like not really listening to you, or
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I know. You ever see the Hulk when at the end when he has to leave town? He's so sad, and you just see him saying that to like 8 people. Yeah, I'm home this thing already.
I have a story about Tracy, but I don't know if I should share it. But
We can put it on the Patreon.
If it's drugs, go ahead.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that I made friends with somebody in the cue card department. So I started going to the show every couple of weeks. This is like 98, 98, 99, 2000. I would go there. And then at some point, I kind of weaseled my way up to Colin and told him, hey, I write for the Howard Stern show. Can I write jokes? Colin seemed to be very open to letting people contribute ideas for jokes for his weekend update when he took over for Norm. And I would sometimes go to the SNL parties, and you find out that there was after parties after the after parties that would happen.
Yeah.
And it was the cast members would just kind of take over and throw their own thing.
Yeah, because Lorne and in the office basically threw the after party. So they picked the restaurants and stuff. So then we got to do the after.
yeah, you would hand out a card. Like everybody got like a little card.
Yes.
Yeah, I had these printouts. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the official after party or for the after?
For the
party?
after party.
For the
Yeah.
after party. Okay.
After Lorne, Dad leaves.
Right.
The real party starts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Hoes.
Did you guys feel like in all your years of being on SNL that you ever understood Lorne and finally were not intimidated by him, or did the intimidation always stay with you?
Go ahead. You
I
can
never
answer this.
really had a deep conversation with him. I mean, it was pretty silent for a few years, but we got talking maybe by the 5th year I was on a little bit more, but he just didn't really engage that much with me. They always asked me to sit by him at the after party, which was his party.
Right.
And I was like, well, I'm the only one there, and he's like waiting there alone. Like nobody's sitting with him. Is like, am I a seat filler?
Yeah.
Like, does he want to talk to me?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think he wanted to talk to me, but sometimes I would go over and he wouldn't really share anything with me. So I was like, why am I sitting here?
I guess I was, we're all a little scared of him. But then after a while, you just get really comfortable and you don't really, like, you don't buddy up to him and, pat him on the back and be like, what's up, bump chest with him or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's all right. He's all right.
At the 50th anniversary, I gave him a big hug, like a long, big hug. And he hugged me back, and that was really nice. So that was the big thing for me.
My biggest breakthrough with Lorne is I got him to dance one night.
Really?
At that, when we had the last party at the roller rink.
Downstairs.
Yeah, and he would
At
never
roller
dance.
rink.
The ice rink downstairs?
The ice rink. I'm a little older than you.
Yeah.
There used to be a roller rink down there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the season finale party was always downstairs, right?
Yeah, it was always there. It was a really fun party.
Yeah. I went to a couple of those down there. But Chris, did you have a question?
I was just going to ask, like, with Lorne being so intimidating, was there ever a time where you like overstepped that boundary and he was like, had whatever kind of reaction to that when you got a little too close to the boss?
No, but this is one thing where they were going back to LA on a jet. And I think we were going to go, maybe I was going to see him. He's like, you want to come to LA with us? I'm like, okay. So it was like me, Tracy, maybe Jimmy, and then Lorne, and we got on the plane. And then, you have to go back to get a sandwich. Like you have to go back in a cooler or whatever. Yeah. They don't, and so he's like, can you get me, a Diet Coke with some ice? And I'm like, okay. So I brought him back like an icy can of Coke, and he's like, you couldn't find the ice? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? You want me to like find the crystal glass, put some ice in it?
Did you guys feel that hierarchy when you were there?
Yeah, because most of us too, we kind of idolize the show and idolize him as part of it.
Yeah,
he's a legend. I mean, responsible for finding so much talent.
I'll tell you, the one time I became aware of that hierarchy was, again, hanging out with the friends that I'd made in the cue card department. There was one night that I became aware of that one of the guys in the cue card department clicked with a girl that was an assistant to Marcy and Marcy Klein. And turns out they revealed to each other that night that they've had a crush on each other forever. And it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. I've had a thing for you. You've had a thing for me. And they have this amazing couple of nights together that starts at the after party. But when they get back to work on, is it Monday when you guys start all over again or Tuesday?
Monday, yeah.
On Monday, word gets back that she was with the guy from the cue card department. It's like, you're not supposed to hang out with the guy from the cue card department. So she just ghosted him from that moment on, because she's not supposed to be fraternizing with a guy from the cue card department. And he was crushed by that. And that was the first time I became aware of like,
that sucks.
That's too bad.
Yeah,
that could have been a great relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, but because
this made me break up with a girl because she spoke Spanish.
Yeah. What's the backstory to that?
With a girl that hopped in my car, and all she said was "Mango Dango."
Oh yeah, Chris was trying to get laid.
She wouldn't stop saying it. She kept going, "Mango Dango."
It was very cute, but then when she sat down, she was really drunk and just being like,
and then,
"You're Mango Dango."
And then she said, like 20 minutes later, "I think I'm going to try to kill myself."
Oh, wonderful!
I was like, I don't know about tonight.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Well, yeah. That is wonderful. Where you start with thinking like, wow, man, fame and success is really cool. Then you realize, oh my God, this girl's psychotic.
Yeah. You think, for some, I mean, I honestly, it's easier to meet women and stuff, but you have to be kind of good looking to begin with. You're not.
It is a conversation starter, though.
It certainly is.
It's definitely a conversation starter. But when you brought up Mr. Peepers, Mr. Peepers was such an over the top character, and I've always heard people say that they try to not sell it on the dress rehearsal. Every Saturday, there's a dress rehearsal that lasts 2.5 hours. Is it 2.5 hours?
It's about
probably.
Yeah, I think
that
so.
That seems right.
And they're still cutting to see what's going to fit for the final 90-minute show.
Yeah.
And there's always been cast members who have said that you try to not oversell it for the dress rehearsal, and you really, because you feel like if it hits too hard in the dress rehearsal, there's this feeling that it's gonna somehow have peaked by the time you get to the live show.
It's true, yeah. And it's also because you want the crew to kind of be laughing as well. So, you don't want them to have seen everything that you've done. And especially with me and Jimmy, I'd throw things in, and Jimmy would throw things in that we hadn't seen, just to kind of like fuck things up and make each other laugh. But it wasn't it wasn't necessarily to make each other break, but it was like the intention is we're going to make this as funny to this person as I can.
Oh, that's funny.
And so that would usually just pump the energy of the scene right away.
Oh, that's
like
funny.
once you knew that you were going off a little bit.
Yeah.
It just, the whole energy rose. And I think people can feel that. And I think that's why, someone, you were telling me the other day about Lorne's documentary where he said that he doesn't like people breaking, but he never told me directly, like, don't do that. And then,
I heard he does. I heard he likes people breaking.
Yeah, well, you told me that he broke on his show, that they showed clips from his in his documentary about him breaking when he was in Canada doing. He had that sketch show when he was younger. Yeah,
it's so interesting. All these cast members are like children of this guy, and none of them know their dad at all.
No.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And we kind of like when the cast members leave, the new cast members are replacing the next round of children, basically.
Yeah.
Like, the closest thing to him saying I love you is like, let's play tennis. I was like, wow, tennis.
Or like, would you like to share a carrot?
And do you play tennis even if you don't like it?
No, I was too scared. I was I should have, but I was just like, I don't know. Do I beat him or I don't, or what? Lay down? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was
It's
thinking
going to
too.
be some weird thing,
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
You can't win that game because if you lose, your boss, he's like, I'm the boss. Yeah.
Right?
And if you beat the boss, that's not going to be a good day of work the very next day.
Oh, that is hilarious. When you talk about fucking with each other just to heighten the energy on the live show, have you ever had it go too sideways where you're like, wow, we just broke that sketch?
I don't think so, because nothing's worse than silence. So there's been some really, really silent ones.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And those there's like, oh boy, like you're just like, that really sucks, because you're like, oh my God, there's 5 pages left of this shit. And the crowd is already done with it after like the first page or the first 2 pages.
I can just say that is very relatable as a comedian. That is very relatable as a comedian when they're not with you at the very beginning.
But our laughing, I don't know if our laughing may have ruined someone else's sketch or something, but I don't think so. I mean, maybe. But it was all about, livening up that studio.
Has there been a character that you created that you're like, this is going to hit, and then run into that silence, or just like not have the reaction that you thought was going to have? You were very confident about walking
sometimes you have fun characters, because I'd call people in the office as characters, at the middle of the night. And I pretend that I was this weird Puerto Rican dude called Gomez Vasquez.
Okay.
And the first more 9/11 humor for you guys. Yeah. he would always be like, "Did you get laid? Like, have you been to Ground Zero? Did you get laid? What?" Like his big question to all his coworkers were, "Did you get laid in the weekend?" Fucking crickets. Absolutely nothing from the audience. Like, why is he asking about sex and Ground Zero? And people in the audience probably have some.
Was it a sketch, or was it a Weekend Update character?
No, that was a sketch.
That was a sketch, and it did it work on dress rehearsal? Because obviously it did well enough to stay for the live show.
I just think that it really had a lot of good animosity. Like people just, everyone behind it wanted to see it. Like the writers, everybody kind of wanted to see it work, but it just didn't. And Tom Hanks was in that one.
It's funny because the two of you,
poor Tom Hanks.
The two of you are part of one of the most legendary sketches of all time, the Cowbell sketch.
Yes, and the Cowbell.
Did you have any idea that it was going to click the way that it did? Is it possible to know?
No,
I don't think we did.
Watkins is a good host and everything. He's one of my favorite hosts, but he doesn't necessarily. I don't think he read it that funny at the time, right? And you kind of have to see Will's chest and his, his fucking.
Yeah, wasn't there a story that his
he has
shirt,
an appendectomy scar.
But his shirt got tighter and tighter as you guys.
Yeah, I pushed him really hard. I said, "Don't blow this for us, Gene."
He's finally like hitting. I'm moving my.
And then his shirt went up.
Button.
Yeah.
And then it became a kind of a bit where every time we'd stop, we'd be all John. Yeah. And then we'd stop, we'd all like shake, like, what the hell? And I played bass like Donald Duck Dunn. And in every sketch, I was like, if there was a band, make me the bass player. And I always played. I put a pipe in.
The cool bass player guy.
Yeah, the cool bass player.
Yeah, I played the guitar. I was like, na 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 na. I learned the licks, which is very cool.
Yeah, and then the other one is Debbie Downer. This is the one we get. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
the Debbie Downer sketch is always one that we get. Is like,
you guys wrote that.
My favorite. No, I didn't. That was Rachel. You weren't in any of them.
No, none of those. I was not in those.
Well,
but they were hilarious.
Yeah. But that was one where it got funnier and funnier each time we did it, and that's one where I knew like this is gonna kill,
and it did.
Jeffries was a sketch that people always broke, and that was with Jimmy and whoever the guest host was. And you were in that. And I was in that.
Yeah, we played the two jerks.
Yeah, the guys that were shopping at Jeffries.
Yeah, and I was the fat guy with the Looney Tunes jacket.
Yeah, and then I came in with a fake wig. And they said I look like a burnt victim.
When you have the hosts that come in, it's especially once you're settled in and you know this rhythm, you know what's working, you kind of know this ecosystem that of how to get something that works on Saturday Night Live. How often do you have a host that comes in and goes, well, I have an idea, and their idea just will not work. It is not a good idea. How often does that happen? Or do the hosts?
Well, what happens is they'll have sometimes they'll have a buddy or something or a friend write a sketch, and then they'll just be like, "Can we read it?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." And then when we read it, it just doesn't fit. It's kind of weird, right? Like someone will bring in a sketch that they wrote outside and try to bring it in, and then if it doesn't get laughs, of course they don't want to do it.
Right.
They'll be like, oh, fuck, it sucks.
Yeah, they realized it then at the table, pretty much.
That's kind of like when the bass player brings in a song. It's like, hey, man, y'all want to play this song?
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah.
And so then they probably hate it more than they should because they're like, don't.
A very similar thing, though.
Sit back there with your pipe.
It's a very similar thing. I always like to ask musicians if they still have thin skin when they go into that recording process to pitch ideas. Because I think at our core, we're all insecure. And holy shit, in group settings, when I pitch an idea, like when I've done a roast or something, and I'll throw out like, hey, or what if we did this? Having an absolutely non-reaction from people can be painful in a room.
Yeah.
And do you ever develop a thick skin for that? Did you feel that was did you develop a thick skin first of all before I get to my
I did. I mean, my audition, I didn't get any laughs.
Whoa.
Like nothing.
Whoa. Did you have the same experience, Horatio? Because that's a notorious.
No, I got a lot of laughs.
Did you?
Yeah,
are you serious?
I am serious, yeah.
But I got nothing.
Well, they say this to everyone. They say, look, they're not a big laughy crowd. So
right.
Don't be thrown if they don't laugh.
I was so committed. I was like trying my hardest and like,
yeah,
oh my God.
You're probably just in the zone. You're in the zone. But I had a good time. Once I got a couple laughs, I'm like, oh shit, this is I'm doing well because that guy said that no one gets laughs.
Yeah,
so
and
like
great.
It gives you more momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and you know the history that people tend to not get laughs in that screen test.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we hear. That's what they would tell us. And I know. I mean, I didn't really watch a lot of screen tests at that time.
Yeah.
But I didn't know at that time. But yeah, it certainly is kind of like you feel a lot better. And then it was just like when I told you about finding out, it was like, I know I did well, but they're not going to say anything tonight. They're not going to say anything tomorrow. But but then the day after, they're like, come just hang out. So I knew, okay, getting closer.
Yeah.
Like if you've joined bands where people are like, let's see if he's cool or normal.
Yeah,
that exactly happened to me.
Yeah.
Like I went into the audition and I thought I crushed. I was like, yes, I got this. Tell all my friends, dude, I got it. I was like, calm down. Like a lot of people going in the audition. You weren't in that room, man. You don't know how I felt. I got the gig. And then that was on a Saturday when I had the audition. Monday rolls around and Zoltan, the guitarist, main guy, he sends me like a set list and he's like, hey, you might want to learn these songs. It's the set that we're playing over the summer. And even then I'm like, hold on. Does that mean I have the gig or is this the next part of the audition? Yeah. And like, that went on for like a couple of days. He then goes, hey, Ivan wants to meet you. Go ahead and bring your wife with you as well. We're going to do dinner and have everybody meet. I'm like, okay, they still haven't said that I got the gig yet. Yeah. And then got to the restaurant. Ivan, the lead singer's there. We're hanging out, me, him, and my wife. And then Zoltan comes in, sits down. The first thing he goes, so you know you got the gig, right? I'm like, oh my God. Woo! Thank God. So that's how I found out. Had left me hanging that whole time.
That's Horatio. When Lorne Michaels says, just come down and hang out, does he mean just go to like show meetings and stuff? Like, where are you hanging out?
No, I didn't hear that from him. That was the head writer was like, just come down and hang out and meet the writers.
Okay.
So I got to he was the main producer under Lorne.
Okay.
And then after that, then they're like, okay, go home. Now come back and meet Lorne.
Yeah.
Then I went home, then came back, and then they went home, and that's when they told me. So it was like one. Yeah,
I did that, but they didn't tell me. I had to wait months. I thought I didn't get it.
That's sad.
So Monday is the day that the new host comes in and the pitches happen. Is that Monday?
Yeah, we start rolling in around noon or something, 1 o'clock, and then around 4 or 5, we'd meet the host.
Okay. And then meeting the host, is that the moment where it's my understanding that everybody, writers and cast members, pitch an idea? Is that?
It's also, we're also like children too, because we're all crammed into Lorne's office.
Oh.
He's the only one in a chair and everyone else is sitting around him.
We're sitting on the ground against the wall.
Yeah, it really does feel like Norman
Mm.
Rockwell painting of the old man next to the fireplace. He didn't have a fireplace, but yeah, we're all just sitting around.
So it's an aquarium.
Did you guys ever get the feeling that people were intentionally not laughing at your pitch because they want their pitch to sail through?
Sometimes people would make up pitches that were fake and they'd laugh.
I heard that about Norm. Did Norm do that a lot?
I don't know. I'm after Norm, but yeah, you would know.
He did. Will did. I remember pitching a fake one. I kept going, I'm going to write a sketch called Lunch Basket about a restaurant that serves food in lunch baskets. And I got a couple laughs. But that was like one of my only attempts of doing a fake pitch.
Is the idea because...
I think it's like taking swings, though. It's like if you want to get a good hit off the host's reaction.
Yeah.
So you don't want necessarily to be goofy around him. But you also, if you don't have a sketch, I would always be like writing a pitch like in the office, like right before we meet him. Like, fuck, I gotta come up with something. Then I'm listening to other people's pitches. Like, what can I take from that I kind of like that's not stealing it?
Yeah. I remember when I first joined Death Punch, there was a song that I wanted to play. I can't even remember what song it was. I was like, hey, why don't we add this song to the set? And Jason Hook goes, yeah, throw that in the suggestion box and see how it works out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do remember hearing a story about they're going around the room. And again, I had heard that Norm was famous for doing fake pitches. And I think Daryl had a pitch for, I have this idea that Bill Clinton would do A, B, and C because he was in the news about this last week. And they go, Norm, what do you got? And the pitch I heard was that Norm said, oh, yeah, it's the same thing, except he's got this huge cock. And
that sounds like him. Yeah.
He's got his huge cock. And I don't know, I got to write it out. And it would just kind of sit with that. It would be like he would just add on to somebody else's idea, say something awful.
Yeah.
And then the reason for it was because you wanted to have a conversation with the host personally to try to pitch something to him. Is that why you'd throw out a fake pitch?
Yeah, like huge cock is always a hit.
Right. Yeah. He's,
clip that.
Yeah.
We did a movie with Norm, too.
Yeah.
Oh wait, which movie did you do with Norm?
We did this the Farley brothers were doing.
Oh yeah, we did do a movie with him, and we got along great. He was hilarious. He was so much fun.
Yeah,
he was great.
Yeah,
Norm was a big fan.
He's a great guy.
Stand-up comedy. Yeah, he met Norm a couple of times over the years, and he was always incredibly kind. But but man, what an unusual guy. He was like, like Tracy, quirky. He had his own, Sometimes it felt like you couldn't approach him and have a normal conversation, and then sometimes I feel like you could, but he was a little, right?
Yeah. It wasn't like, what's up, bro? Again,
right, exactly.
No.
Yeah, he was a little
back
standoffish.
pats.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, okay, just don't insult me and we'll be great, Or,
Yeah.
Just like, don't be mean to me. And then once he wasn't, you're just like, oh, okay, whatever,
Dude, how crazy is it that you end up on a show where all the biggest music artists are just coming through every week?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Like David Bowie and U2.
And we get tickets for everything too, which is amazing.
So when they were performing in town, you get hooked up.
If they're doing a show, they'd usually be doing a show in town.
Mm-hmm.
So like say Wednesday, they'd be doing a show and it would start at midnight so we can do the read through and then go hang out. And then
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we saw No Doubt all of us kind of went to No Doubt.
I didn't know that was happening.
You're probably dating someone, chase him around Manhattan.
I was always in a committed relationship.
No, we went to this Eddie Vedder thing. You didn't go to Eddie Vedder thing?
I did not go to Eddie Vedder.
Whoa.
Well, you were certainly at the Stones at Montauk. No,
yes,
just kidding.
Yeah.
Were there any weird experiences of like, are there any boundaries, by the way, that are set for cast members? Like, hey, when the music act gets in, don't.
That's a great question. Not usually.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But when I was there, people were bugging the hosts and guests for autographs.
Yeah.
So we would bug them that way.
Sign a poster of Joshua Tree, and I just asked to, attempt to do that, and that was pretty cool.
But who did we see that was like? Oh, I saw Radiohead. I'm a big fan of Radiohead, and I was like, this is my favorite band in the world. Like, I can't talk to them. I can't go up there because if he's a dick, it ruins the whole catalog.
True, but you are co-workers this week,
kind of. But when you come in, that's it. We don't really hang out with the musicians that much unless they want to come out with us. We went out with Christina Aguilera. We went dancing that one night. Were you there for that?
I don't know. I wasn't there. But I do
everything.
remember U2, when I went into the green room, Bono invited me because he backed out of a sketch, a Mango sketch. He didn't want to do it. And he invited me backstage. And the green room was all of U2, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, and Joey Ramone. That was so cool.
That's a sketch in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so surreal.
I was once changing out of my clothes at the end of the night, and everybody was pretty much gone. And then, like, Joey Ramone, like, peeks around a corner.
No.
Hey, man. Is Jimmy here? I'm like, what? Is Jimmy Fallon here? I'm like, he's probably like over there in his dressing room, blah, blah, blah. And it was like so surreal because it's just me. It's me and Ramone.
Whoa.
The big Ramone.
That was another thing, like on the few times that I would hang out up there on that floor, on the 8th floor on the show night, there were just random cool people that would just show up and would just be in the hallways. Like you'd see a guy from the Beastie Boys or...
Oh,
like,
the Beastie
JFK
Boys played. That was
Jr.
awesome.
And his wife used to come by the show a lot.
Who did?
JFK Jr.
Really?
Kennedy. Yeah.
I remember,
Instead of flying practice.
Yeah.
He'd come get drunk with us.
I do remember...
That joke always does well. Yeah.
Well, it's topical now because that show one is on the air about their love life.
Show's on. Yeah, it's on cable.
I do remember being on the 8th floor one night for a live show and looking around and going, oh, look at this guy. He's like Leonardo DiCaprio looking guy trying to act all cool and stuff. And somebody said, hey, where'd Leo go? And I was like, that was Leo. And I was like, oh my God. And it was like the peak of Titanic Leo.
Right. Yeah.
And he's hanging out on the 8th floor there. I mean, it seemed like you really got the sense that everybody wanted to be on that floor and be around that show. And did you ever feel like anybody that you knew wanted to get your job or like, did you ever get that from friends like who were also comedians or improv people? Like, how do I get on that show?
I think with improv people, yeah, you get people that want to be there. They don't necessarily want to take your job, and if they think that way, then they're not going to tell you. So usually,
but they do want to, get on the show. I mean,
Of course.
it's everybody's dream. Everybody who improvises or does sketch comedy,
Yeah.
they want to be on that show, most likely.
like after I was about to leave, I was like, well, I might, I'm probably going to be gone this next year or whatever. But and Lauren's like, let's not talk about leaving the show. But I said, these are two fat guys you can go see at UCB.
Yeah.
They're really funny. And Bobby Moynihan was one of them. So
Really?
Oh, wow.
and Bobby Moynihan was already doing killing at UCB, but I definitely asked him to, if you're going to hire fat guys, go back to UCB. Just, keep the lineage.
But you got the feeling that time was running out? You
Yeah.
did you feel like there was an energy like that your ideas weren't being received? Like, what was it that gave you the idea that, like, because I felt like Colin felt like that too.
Yeah, at some
Colin
point
Quinn.
you're not the focus. You're not in the top focus of it all. You're just really funny as side characters.
Mm.
Right? So like your last year, you're kind of killing and you're just being goofy because you're free. You're not worried about the sketch because you didn't write it usually.
Right.
Seth Meyers would always write me nice parts.
Mm.
He was the head writer at the time. So yeah, you kind of feel like, yeah, I know it's not that same upward trajectory. Now we're kind of just plateaued and it's funny and it's good and they like you, so they're not pushing you out the door and you're comfortable, so you don't want to leave. But yeah, you get that feeling where it's time. And the show is definitely, the engine is the youth of that comedy that you don't give a shit.
It's such a whirlwind when you're in there because it seems to be the center of the universe while you're there.
Yeah, and especially if you pick this business.
Yeah, for entertainment.
I'm always closed off to like what the rest of the world thinks of because I've always been in this vacuum of show business. And,
Yeah.
Most people don't, didn't watch every single show on TV when they were little.
Mhm.
So I always feel like, and it's music too, like, you probably feel the same way. Like, we're all this way. We all kind of have this grip on the thing,
Mhm.
but we're not. And we know when you're in the middle of it, you're like, yeah, SNL, it's the biggest thing. It's like it's the center on Saturday night. Leonardo DiCaprio's here. Everybody's trying to get in here. It's just like, and you think that's the whole world.
Mm.
And then meanwhile, like, at 11:30 in LA, a lot of people didn't watch that night. You wouldn't get the same compliments as you did in New York because there was something about, it was bigger in New York. It was a New York thing and everybody in New York loved it. And it was, so it was different in LA or in other places.
Yeah.
Did it ever strike you guys as odd that super famous people wanted to say hi to you because you were on SNL?
Yeah. On my first show, Leonardo DiCaprio, speaking of Leonardo DiCaprio, someone came up to me and was like, hey, Leonardo DiCaprio wants you to go to his table. And I'm like, yeah.
How old were you at this point? How old were you at this point?
I was 28.
Okay. So a little outside of the dating age then.
Yeah.
So you were safe.
So I would have dated that son of a bitch. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So you come over to his table?
I was too old for him. Yeah. I did. I went over his table and it was just like, yeah, that thing you did is you were like, when you were dead, you were like, yeah, so cold, so cold. That was funny when you did that. And he was just a kid just being a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, man, thanks. I'm a fan of you too, blah, blah, blah. But again, you're just not, it's just weird.
It is.
And you probably get that with fans too. Just like,
surreal.
what do you
odd.
think? And it's like,
I got that at the 50th with Pedro Pascal and Bad Bunny. They were like, oh my God, we're big fans.
Wow.
It was so weird. I love Pedro Pascal. Bad Bunny, he's pretty good. But
I love them both. I worked with Pedro. Great. He's nice. We were doing,
nice.
But even before I knew Bad Bunny, me and my buddy would be like, hey, Bob Bunny, man. Bob Bunny's going to be here, bro. You going to go see Bob Bunny?
Did you get laid?
And so I was basically, did you get laid? And then I was like, yeah, man, Bob Bunny's right over. And then Bob Bunny's like, hey, man, it's me, Bad Bunny. Like, oh, shit. He's like, no, man, that's all right. It's cool. It's cool.
Wow.
One time we were going to Sweden to play Sweden Rock, I think it was. And this is back when I was still drinking. I'd been drinking on the plane. I was hungover already. Landed in London. We get there and they're going through all the customs with all the equipment. I'm just like, I just want to get on the bus and just get out of here. And there's another band sitting over on the side. And I can see them like all excited. Like, hey man, somebody else in the business is here. We're gonna tell stories. So this guy comes over and it's like, hey man, you guys on tour? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, we're doing Sweden Rock or something. And it's like, all right. And he kind of got the vibe. He's like, all right, man, well, I just want to come over and say hi. And he left. And as soon as he left, my drummer, Jeremy, was super excited. He runs over and he's like, hey, man, how's it feel to have been a dick to Rick Springfield?
Oh!
I was like, no! Because that was the first 45. Jesse's Girl was the first 45 I ever remember owning as a kid. And then I was hungover and just wanted to get out of there and was a dick to Rick.
Damn, man.
Chris, that's okay,
because
right, didn't he slap around his wife? I think.
Oh,
that's okay.
Well, that's why I was such a big fan. Not the music.
This is what I was drinking and slapping women around.
Yeah, man. This is heavy metal, man.
Chris, isn't there some weird story that you have about Alice Cooper and his snake?
It wasn't that weird. He was like, we did a Comic-Con and he was there and he was at a table next to me. And then we were on the same flight. So we got to talk and he was like a very intellectual guy.
Oh, yeah.
And very close to his wife. And he read a book and very intense. And then I went to go see him at Vegas. And I guess his AD or somebody let me hold his snake because he has a snake in his act. And it was just huge, like a python. It was like strangling me, and it was like really uncomfortable.
A lot of euphemisms.
And it was like,
yeah,
I don't want to hold this snake. And it was like an honor to hold it, but I was not enjoying it.
Yeah.
But
Chris Kattan honored to hold Alice Cooper's snake.
Which almost choked him.
They were like, here's the snake. Like, oh, yeah. God, get the fucking python off me.
and then you got to hang out with Rob Zombie. Was that recent or?
No, that was Rob Zombie was performing in the same concert, but he had COVID, but he wanted to meet me, which was.
What do you want to do to play with his balls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alice's snake, Rob's balls.
Yeah.
But so did Rob come out and say hi to you with COVID?
No, he had COVID.
Oh,
he
he had
wasn't leaving
COVID.
his trailer.
Okay.
He was like, I have COVID.
Wait, were you doing one of those?
He had to
horror
cancel
movies?
his whole show.
You did the show?
No, he didn't. He canceled both
Oh,
shows.
oh,
So Alice
wow.
did 2 shows.
Oh, okay.
You guys have done episodes, I think, during both your tenures where Prince was the music guest, didn't you?
I wasn't on when that happened.
Oh, you weren't? Okay.
But I
Horatio?
could
He
meet him at
played the party. He played the 50th anniversary. The first party.
40th.
The 40th.
40th. He was at the 40th.
40th, sorry.
Oh, that legendary party where didn't he have to be summoned to the stage? Like he was like, all right.
Yeah, that
and
was
then,
pretty cool.
wow.
I don't know what happened, but he was playing his songs like a real concert at first. And
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
I was smoking a lot of marijuana joints at that time. So I rolled like a 20-pack of joints and I was like getting everyone high.
Really?
At the plaza, in front of the plaza. So I can hear Prince. And I'm like, that's interesting. They're playing like, something from Purple Rain, Purple Rain.
Oh, you think they're actually playing an album?
I thought they're playing the album, the music.
Okay.
And then someone's like, no, Prince is up there. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wasn't Paul McCartney up there too?
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if Paul, he may have
No,
been.
I think it was Paul McCartney and Jim Carrey
Oh, wow.
and Prince. And they were, I don't know what Jim Carrey was doing up there, but I guess singing because he wasn't playing anything. But I mean, they were all up there. They were up there playing.
Yeah, and then after a while, Jimmy's like, come on upstage, Horatio. I'm like, I'm not going to go up there with those people.
Yeah, what are you going to play?
I'm just going to, play my CGD. That's it. I'm bitter now, but
Fun side fact.
certainly.
Purple Rain, every time I hear that song, I cry. Every single time.
Tracy Morgan.
Really?
Yeah. This song
You
made
cry
me
at
emotional.
Purple Rain. You cry from Purple Rain.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
saw a Boy George here in Vegas at one of the casinos,
Yep.
and he covered Purple Rain,
And you cried.
So there I
And
am
you
crying
cried.
at a Boy George concert.
Oh, I love
I
it.
was like, "Fuck, man!"
Wow.
That's awesome.
Look, something about those notes and just how beautiful the damn song is. It's like it
Yeah.
hits me.
I still think of Apollonia.
Oh yeah,
Apollonia.
I'd cry seeing that too.
Did you guys ever
I cried at Celine Dion.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
which one?
No.
Oh.
Titanic.
So, all right. So you have the music guests come in. You kind of give them breathing room. You don't really interact with the music guests much. But were there any music guests that you actually got close enough to that you exchanged phone numbers and you actually started a friendship with?
did not exchange phone numbers, but I went backstage and to Madonna's dressing room, and she was on Rosie O'Donnell, and it was a different stage. And I came in, and she wanted to meet me, and I came in, and she was just putting on her bra, and I saw the back of her, and then she turned around and said, "Oh, you just missed it."
Oh,
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Like, can we run that back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, that was pretty cool. And then I got to meet David Bowie. That was very cool.
Wow.
That was cool. And he was like so energetic, like a child, you know?
Really?
He was like, "Oh my God, hey, how are you?" Like, "Oh my God, David Bowie," you're like jumping out of your seat. Like, it was like crazy. Like, the personalities of these great rock stars, you would never think they would have such, you know, like childlike energy. They're so, you know, enigmatic and active and you know, they have such strong personalities, you know? It's pretty amazing. You just would never think that. They're not slow and
They have the best drugs.
you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
He was like so childlike, like gacked out. He was just his jaw was really tightening.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think Horatio was a cast member on the night that Ashley Simpson had that crazy performance. Weren't you a cast member?
Oh my God, I saw that.
And that's when Ashley Simpson, clearly the tape runs out and you realize she's been lip syncing for this whole performance. You were a cast member when that on that night?
No, I was not there.
What do you remember at that moment? Because I know you guys are busy getting fitted for the next sketches. Do you hear about it?
I was done by that time. So I'd been in a few sketches, but then it was over. So I was just laid back, have a beer, wait for good nights, I guess. And so she was like right before the end. And I was watching just to see when it would end. So that's when I would get up and go to the stage.
Yep.
And it starts happening. And it's like, oh my God, it's happening. And I'm like happy. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. Not because this poor girl's having the worst time of her life.
But the same way a comedian would laugh at one of their friends bombing on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but more so than that, like there's such a thing about SNL. Like there's, you know, they never show, they show backstage now more than ever. But in the old days, you never really knew what it looked like back there in the offices.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I loved when the fourth wall was kind of being broken. Like, oh, it's fucking chaos.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And like what else is going to
did
happen?
that. You two jumped into the crowd and the cameraman was like, "What the fuck?
Oh,
Where
that's
was he
right.
going?"
That's right.
Like, he was all over the place. It was
That's
incredible.
That shows you how much attitudes change too. Because I saw Justin Bieber at MGM Grand, and he's singing and just dropping the mic.
And then the vocals are
Vocals
still
keep
happening.
on going. He didn't give a fuck. Just right back in. Still pays the same.
Yeah. I heard he was just playing old videos of himself singing
on Coachella.
Yeah.
Coachella, yeah.
Because he couldn't
I heard
perform.
he got paid like 10 million or 12 or something, like the highest paid performer at Coachella with Justin Bieber.
I heard some football player was complaining about that too. Like, I didn't take my girl to this expensive ass concert to be listening to YouTube videos. I'm like, bitch,
it's believable.
You're watching Justin Bieber. Shut the fuck up. Man up.
It's Belieber Coachella.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
I love it. I mean, I really appreciate you guys coming on to be able to share some of these stories. I'm excited to do the show. We're doing a show on Saturday, May 23rd, here in Las Vegas at the Aliante Casino. It's going to be Horatio, Chris Kattan, myself, Ahmet Zappa is hosting, which I'm so excited to see that guy and be able to talk to him. And there's a couple other comedians.
And Rudy Pavich
is performing. It's just
we thought it was Rudy Povich, the son of
Maury.
We did think it was Maury's son, and we were like, "Oh boy!" Yep. But he's
thankfully we are not the father.
Have the two of you done shows together in the past? Is this going to be the first time you guys are performing together?
I think we may have done one show at UCB in New York.
Yeah, we did a couple
years ago.
Cat improv
but we
shows.
both know how to improvise well. You know, I'm a groundling, he's UCB.
Right.
But, you know, we're gonna, plan some great games and interact with the audience. It's gonna be great. So
well, I appreciate you guys putting up with all these fan questions. I'm excited to do the shows with you guys. So
that's what are we.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming in. So again, the tickets for Aliante Casino are for May 23rd. You can get the tickets at Ticketmaster. It's Saturday, May 23rd in Las Vegas, Aliante Casino. All these guys performing together along with Ahmet Zappa and Rudy Povich, however he'd like to pronounce it. And
Ahmet Zappa.
Ahmet Zappa. And I was excited to talk to you guys. So thanks for coming in. And to find you guys online, where do people find you online?
I'm Mr. Sanz at Instagram.
Mr. Sanz at Instagram.
I'm a Chris Kattan official.
And we'll have that at the bottom of the screen here. And thank you guys for coming on. I'm looking forward to doing the show with you guys in May.
Blast.
Oh, it's going to
be a great show. I'm really excited.
Yeah, Craig's going to be great. I was listening to some of your impressions and some of your appearances, so we're excited to see your set.
Yeah, your Tracy Morgan is spot on.
Tracy sounds like everyone I grew up with. I grew up in Mount.
You do a great Tracy.
Yeah, I ran into him a lot over the years, including on that 8th floor when I was writing for Colin. Just as a contributing writer, Colin would have me fax in jokes every Friday before a live show. And if it made it to air, you get $100.
I know
from Colin.
I shared an office with Colin too, actually, and he had vertigo, and for some stupid reason, they put his desk in front of the window.
Oh my God!
So he had to stare outside the whole time. I was like, "Do you want to switch?" He's like, "No, I got it."
Oh my God!
Colin's so great. I saw him last week. He's still same old Colin.
He's great.
One of the greatest testaments to how great of a person Colin is. I introduced him to a friend of mine, and a month later, he saw the friend, not me, but just the friend at the Comedy Cellar, and he goes, "Hey, what's up, Shelly?" And she goes, "Oh my God, Colin Quinn is just a prince of a human being. He's just such a good
He really is.
Good guy.
I love that guy."
Yeah.
So Saturday, May 23rd, that's when you're going to see all these guys performing. Horatio Sanz and Chris Kattan together on stage. Well, I mean, you guys will each do your own comedy sets, but do you plan on doing something together at the
I think we're going to improvise together.
I love it.
As well, yeah.
We're going to do a lot of stuff with the audience, too.
Awesome. I love it. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster, and we'll see you guys soon.